Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and you're joining me today for a brand new game on the channel, Strategic Mind: The Pacific. The developers, Stani Games, creators of Panzer Strategy, were very generous in offering me a key to have a look at this game and see what we could make of it. Now, a little bit of backstory. 20 years ago, can you imagine that? 20 years ago, I played and loved a game called Panzer General. You may remember it. Your father, your grandfather may have told you about it. It's one of those games that really captured the imagination of PC gamers. Played it for ages and ages and ages, but haven't played much like it. Strategic, sort of turn-based war games since then, though, as you know, if you've been following the channel, I have been playing largely off camera Panzer Corps, which is kind of a spiritual successor to the original Panzer General, created by a different team, Slytherin in fact, or Slytherin, however you pronounce it. However, I've never actually played one of these turn-based war games based at sea. So this is going to be quite novel. Now, the game is currently in early access, has been since April of this year, and what I have in my hands here, what you're seeing on your screens now, is the beta of the release version, and that is going to be made public. It's going to be released for sale on the 25th of October. So from time of recording, we're just a few days away. You are among the first people to see this game in all its glory, more or less. We'll get into that later, but mostly this is brand new, it's exciting, and I've played a little bit of it. I've gone through the tutorial and I've discovered there's an awful lot to uncover and quite a lot to get to grips with. Panzer General, Panzer Corps, relatively straightforward. Once you've got the basic concept of the mechanics out into your head, then it's just a matter of strategy. This game has so much more to it, as you will see. Right, so what we're going to do, we're first off, just a quick look at the settings like we do with any brand new game. We've got a whole variety of things we can change. There is voice acting, and you'll hear quite a bit of that as we go through this first look video. And we can set all our volumes here if we need to. We have various videos here. I have no idea what most of these mean. I don't understand computers. We're running at 1920 1080 full screen, and it looks like I've got all the good stuff turned up to maximum. And game. We will come and look at one or two of these once we get into the game itself, but as you can see, we've got lots of useful options for getting the game running. I've played the tutorial, and that gives you a really good insight into what is possible with the game, but the trick then is taking that knowledge into actually playing it. And as I said earlier, there's an awful lot to get your head around. But let's do something brand new. If you've been playing the early access of this game, then this, I think, will be new to you.
Following the treacherous and unexpected Japanese attack
we will stop him talking in a moment. We will actually start playing the Japanese campaign.
Since time immemorial, the Japanese were renowned warriors, stalwart, honorable, and bound by
Now there is a lot
duty.
of this text.
However, the 20th
and a
century
lot of
came,
cut screens.
and proud
Cut
descendants
scenes,
of Yamamoto
that's probably the better
State
term for it as well.
found
So we're
themselves
getting a
overshadowed
lot
by
of
the
background
world's
as to what's
superpowers,
going on in the game,
the United
and you
States
could turn this
and the
off
British Empire.
and read all this, but I'm not
Striving
going
to become
to.
their equal,
We're going to start
the
the
Empire
game.
of Japan
The
began
first
to
thing I need
amass
to decide
military
is how
strength
good I'm going
and
to be.
quickly
And to
ran
be
into
honest,
a dire shortage of resources.
I'm going to be a bit
It
rubbish
led to conquering the territories of
because
China
I'm very
and
new
China.
to this game. I'm going to choose
The
the
United States
easiest
and its
difficulty,
allies
which
were
they've
quick
called
to react,
storytelling.
condemning Japan as a warmonger.
And what we're going to do when we get in here is I'm going to play you through, without me talking all over it, a couple of
Hull's
the
note was soon
backstory
to follow,
scenes that precede the
ultimatum
campaign,
to the
just to give you a feel for the
Leave
graphics
all
and
newly
the voice
conquered
quality
territories
of this
or
game.
suffoc- My, how beautiful the blossoming sakura is. Do you not think so, Yamamoto? It has already started to blossom while our Navy is still resisting any decisive actions against the United States.
The sakura blossom is magnificent indeed, but soon its flowers will fall. Would not the whole of Japan fall as well if we enter the hopeless war against the United States and Great Britain, Army Minister Tojo?
The army is sworn to protect the Emperor, but without fuel we cannot perform our duty. Thus, we need to occupy Indochina and utilize its oil production.
That action will only worsen the situation. I am afraid, as of now, 80% of our fuel is imported from the U.S. If we invade Indochina, we will get a powerful enemy and still be left without fuel.
So what? Do we have to keep dancing to the Yankees' tune? Absolutely not! We cannot wait for their wretched pittance. We must take what is necessary to protect our Emperor and our homeland without paying attention to anyone else.
The Navy as a whole and myself personally stand firmly against the war with the United States. They will immediately be joined by Great Britain and the Netherlands. Their combined forces are too powerful.
Our samurai spirit and faith in the Emperor will help us overcome any foe.
I see it as a not well considered childishness. Only the personal command of the Emperor, whom I faithfully serve, will make me lead the Navy against the United States.
Admiral Yamamoto, the Navy headquarters have devised a plan of attack on Pearl Harbor according to your instructions. Our first air fleet will annihilate the U.S. Pacific Fleet with one decisive blow.
I consider it my duty to remind you that I always consider this fancy plan of yours an unjustified gamble. We must proceed with time-tested methods, not some fantasies.
Time-tested methods are great if the opponents have equal strength. We, on the other hand, have to make a miracle for Japan to come out victorious after this war.
Aye, aye, Admiral.
Ogaki, please provide our diplomats with the exact timing of the upcoming attack. They have to make public our declaration of war before we begin the attack.
Consider it done.
From Prime Minister Tojo to Admiral Yamamoto. The die is cast. The great Japanese nation is going to war to protect its sovereign land and legitimate interests from this insidious enemy's assaults. Japan has never confronted
And here we
such
go.
a powerful
We're now
and dangerous
actually
adversary
into the
as
campaign
USA.
itself, playing the Japanese.
However, with the help of the gods,
And
we'll
there's a lot
carry
of
out
this
our plan.
introductory
The
text to
samurai
explain to you
spirit and
exactly
willingness to
who's
sacrifice will
involved, the
lead us
characters
to
behind the
victory.
campaign, as well as the purpose
The Emperor has
of what
entrusted
you're about
you,
to attempt
Admiral
to do.
Yamamoto, with the combined fleet, as you are the most dignified and skillful naval commander.
According to the provisionally adopted plan, we must defeat the forces of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, concentrated in Pearl Harbor, with a sudden and powerful blow from our carrier-based aircraft. At the same time as the airstrike, our
So here we
submarines
are,
should secretly enter
given
the harbor and
instructions,
torpedo
a
the
sudden,
enemy ships.
swift and deadly strike
Unfortunately,
upon the
both
American
U.S. Pacific
fleet
carriers left Pearl
currently
Harbor
based
a
at
few
Pearl
days ago.
Harbor.
Their current location is unknown. However, according to the
But there will
intelligence
be
reports,
challenges
the 8 battleships that
we have to
constitute
face
the U.S.
and deal
fleet's
with.
essential strength are compactly concentrated in the eastern part of the harbor. In order to weaken the enemy's forces enough, we must sink at least 4 of them.
So there's our main
Although
objective.
it
We
would be
must sink at
preferable
least
to have
4
all of them
battleships.
destroyed. Also, it is crucial to neutralize American aviation.
And do as much other
It is an
damage as
easy
we possibly
target now,
can
as it is
to the
concentrated
American
at the
forces.
airfields. I suggest you bomb them before the majority of the enemy planes can get airborne. Besides ships and planes, the infrastructure must become our next goals. The enemy's northern, central, and southern oil storage facilities, the shipyard, and the power plant in Pearl City.
You can
I
see
would
there's
like
an
to
awful
stress
lot
again
to
that
do
Pearl
here.
Harbor must be struck suddenly and severely. We should not give the enemy a chance to recover and organize effective defense. There are radar systems in the north of Oahu.
I have a suspicion this is not going to be a quick
With the help of
5-minute
those, the enemy can
scenario.
see our forces from a distance. This has to be considered during the operation. That's all.
Well then, I command to start the attack. And may our ancestors' spirits be with us.
So, here we are. This is the game screen. And here at the bottom, that's my mouse. You'll get used to, if you're not familiar with my channel, you'll get used to me waving the mouse around and throwing the screen into all sorts of bizarre directions. So down below here we have our basic fleet. That's not all our fleet though, surely. We do have... yeah, there we are, lots more. I'm not quite sure what all means there. That's curious. Okay, so we have all our fleet, our aircraft, our naval. You do, for some some scenarios, some battles, you will get ground troops as well that are involved. We have here a mini-map, so we can move around the map here to find our various assets, our various vehicles. I shouldn't say vehicles, I'm not transport fevering at the moment. Our various armaments. One of these settings we can use, which is quite nice, is in the game menu. Hex is on the map. Disable those. Which makes it look a lot nicer, doesn't it, really? The hexes will reappear, I hope, when I start trying to move or attack. Okay, now, I have tried to play this scenario once before, and kind of failed, because I didn't realise that we had some equipment available to us which would allow us to see where our main targets are, which are the ships, and they're actually in here. I know that because I know that. Now what we have here are two...
The forces are comprised of both core and non-core units. Core unit strength indicator is green and round shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only.
So we have one very handy bit of help text. I've left the hints on because I need them still.
These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection.
Okay, so what we've got selected here...
I'm still here.
Yes, thank you, I know you're a submarine. And we have here the information panel which tells us all about that piece of equipment. So here we are, these are all the stats for it. And here we have the various components that make the thing work. And these will take damage. And if they take damage, the submarine or the ship or the aircraft, whatever it is, the asset, I'm going to call them assets, will be less manoeuvrable and will be less effective in attack or defence. So we need to keep an eye on these things. If you click on that, you'll get a big picture of the submarine or whatever vehicle, whatever asset it is. So that's lovely. Now, as you progress through the battles, you will earn sort of prestige type points, and they can be spent on levelling up and learn, which is basically new skills. And you'll see all these described here in much greater detail. This is one of the little issues I have with the game, is you can see all these here, but you can't level up yet, which is, to me, kind of annoying. Whereas in somewhere like Panzer General or Panzer Corps, you don't, or even Civilization for that matter, you don't tend to really have a fixed idea of what options are available to you when you're leveling up until you actually get to a place where that promotion or that leveling up can be made use of, where you can actually do that leveling up. This sort of slightly annoys me a little bit. Okay, now what do we have on our submarine? We've got various skills that our submarine has. So we can move target, add it to all defences, providing, yeah, they can scout. So if we have that turned on, then we can, I don't think we can turn it on just yet, can we? No. We have got seaplanes, which is what I really want to use here, because this is our scouting unit. So if I activate the seaplane, now I first need to sort of get it into the air, so let's do that there.
And fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If unit is still able to move during the current turn,
so here we are. He's telling me all about these icons here. The fuel,
the icon will be grey.
And
likewise,
the
ammunition
strength
icon shows whether the unit is attacked this turn. If the unit is low on
and
ammunition
whether
or
we
fuel,
have
the
armaments,
corresponding icon is
which
yellow.
we don't really for this.
It becomes red once the unit has run out of it completely.
As he said earlier, we have two types of unit here. We have our core units, which have their icon in green circle. Actually, if I can move where's my map? Let me move out here. Do we have any core units? Ah, yes, these are our core units. They're green circles. They will come with us through the various campaign battles. These in the yellow sort of octagonal, are they? Squarey type shapes. They're our auxiliaries, and they will join us for this battle but won't follow us through into the next one. So obviously the troops, the vehicles, the assets we need to protect are these in our core. Now, where's my aeroplane? I don't know if there's a quick way to go back to him. Oh, he's flashing down here. There we are. So what we can do, let's scout around in here. Let's see what we can find. Should we go over here? And we can follow him through. Aha! He's discovered a fleet. That's very handy. And he has no fuel to move. So he's going to be stuck there for the time being. And we have, if I press N...
Ships consist of various ship parts such as hull, engine, main gun,
I go to the next
gun,
movable unit,
anti-aircraft
which I don't
gun,
actually
and
want to
others.
do.
Most of
I
them
want
have their
to
own
go
HP indicating their current state.
to
When hull HP drops to
my
zero,
next
the ship is
submarine,
destroyed. Ship firepower
which was
depends
this
on the
one
current
over
HP
here.
of each individual gun.
Now he has a seaplane as well. So where can we send you off? We've got you there. Should we take you? Let's get you out into the air. Now I'm going to assume that that number 3 we saw, which I've just clicked off, indicates how many of these we've got, or how many times we can use them. If I don't want to wait for the vehicle or the asset to move, I can click again into its destination spot and it will arrive there immediately, so I don't have to sort of watch it flying or floating around. Okay, so we know now where the fleet is. So we do have on some aircraft
The Imperial
carriers.
fleet knows no defeat.
Thank you very much. We
Those
have
bombs are heavy.
these bombers. Now the D3, I have no idea what that is, so let's look at the info panel. It's a dive bomber. It has at the moment no equipment, so we need to actually make sure it has something with which to attack these enemy vehicles, these enemy ships. We have a choice of radar. No, we don't need that. Armor piercing or incendiary bombs. Or we could, if we wanted to fly a long way, go to put some drop tanks in. Now again, you're getting lots of useful information on what all this does and where it can be useful. So the armor piercing attacks, deals damage rather, exclusively the hull, engine and the main gun, but not other ship parts. Whereas the incendiary device does damage, double damage to all the ship parts except the hull, engine and main gun. Now the question here, now this is something where I'm kind of losing out, I have an issue with, is I'm not quite sure what would be the best strategy here. The tutorial gives you some clues, but I'm at a bit of a loss. People who are more familiar obviously with this sort of game will probably find this a good deal easier to deal with. But again, the issue is, I think part of the fact is, we don't have any more information on the individual vehicles here, the individual assets. So this is a dive bomber, but that's about all we know. We can sort of work it out from here, whereas in, say, Panzer Corps, you get a lot more information. You get a whole help page. In fact, if we look at the help on each of the vehicles, so we do have an online manual here, which gives you all sorts of stuff, but it's one long list which you have to sort of scroll through, and it's a bit awkward to use for my mind. And if I could be bothered to read it all, it might tell me something useful. But that's not what we're here for today, so we're not going to do that. We'll go back to the game. And where's our... I've lost him already. Oh, we were looking at the dive bomber, weren't we?
Tactical
There we
bombers
are.
are flying artillery and a
yes.
great tool for wreaking havoc on any enemy troops, although you have to be careful of the anti-aircraft units Overwatch and fire support. It is better to scout the enemy positions before sending in bombers.
Now, this
Do not
is
leave your
useful.
tactical bombers
All
without
these
protection.
hints are
Remember,
good.
they are a prime target for enemy fighter planes.
So it reminds you that tactical bombers aren't great dealing with other aircraft, so you'll need some
The weight of our
fighters.
bombs makes me feel more confident.
to protect them. Now we also have torpedo
Imperial
bombers here.
Air Service.
What are they good for? So what equipment can we put in there? Torpedoes. So they deal exclusive damage to the hull. Like they both do. And down here you see how much they cost to equip each of these pieces of equipment. And that ties into your prestige value here. So I think if we equip... We've already got the torpedo there already, 91-2. So that's that type. So it does allow us to attack submarines. During and after the attack, the aircraft attacking with torpedoes receives a penalty to its combat parameters until the start of its next turn. Which means again they're going to be vulnerable to attack from any fighter aircraft or air defences that might be available to the enemy. So we need to worry about that too. Now I'm just going to go with...
Carrier-based aircraft is different from ordinary aviation, as
Yeah,
it can
he's
land
talking
and take
to
off from
me
carriers.
about
It can
aircraft
resupply
carriers and
ammunition and
stuff.
fuel
So
and
we'll
restore its
put
damage
in-
on board a carrier. It can also change its equipment while on a carrier.
no, I'm going to put
However,
incendiary
in order to
on
be
that one.
reinforced, it has to land at an airfield.
Okay, so I've lost 25 off my prestige. What I'm going to
We
do...
bring death on our wings.
Where is that? I don't know where this vehicle is. This aircraft is. Where's that
We
aircraft?
carry
There
the
you are.
deadly arrows of the Emperor.
If I double click on it somehow, I do get to see it. Now the aircraft carrier can move.
Imperial Air Service.
Right. Now my aircraft can't quite reach the fleet. So we're going to need, I think, to move
The
our
Imperial
carrier
fleet
in.
knows no
This red
defeat.
line, I believe, refers to the attack zone for the weapons on this particular asset. So I've got a main gun here and, of course, anti-aircraft defences, which, if I click on that, gun range 1, but the main gun has a range of 4, so that's that red line there. But what we want to do is move ourselves. Oh, let's go a bit closer.
Aircraft carrier, or simply carrier, is a mobile floating airfield at your disposal.
there you see it.
Each carrier
Lovely
can carry several
graphics.
aircraft
This is
units
really
on
nice.
board.
I mean, compared
You
to the
can see
likes of
exact
Panzer
carrying
General and
capacity
even
and
Panzer
combat
Corps.
parameters.
Though to be fair,
It also
Panzer
has a
Corps
huge storage
itself
of ammunition and fuel on board,
is about
which is used to refuel
7,
every
8
armed
years
aircraft
old,
unit upon
thereabouts.
landing, as well as for the carrier's own needs.
So where can
Carriers
this...
are vulnerable.
Right,
And a high-priority
so this
target for the
torpedo
enemy,
bomber
as they
can
should be
reach
kept
the
at a safe
fleet.
distance, attacking with an aircraft from
So
afar.
what's...
Yet they
Now
have
if I
powerful
right-click
anti-aircraft guns, which they can use to repel
on a
enemy air
vehicle,
raids. If the
I can see
carrier's
that this is a
flight deck has
battleship.
0 HP left, or the
The
carrier is on
Colorado
fire,
class.
flight deck is no longer functional and aircraft cannot land or take off.
So can I attack that? Let's attack that, shall we? No, I'm being told here, I think, that I will be able to do 5 lethal damage to that ship and receive none. Let's
Bow
try
to the
it.
gifts of the Empire.
The trouble... Oh, I right-clicked on that and
Our
taken...
American friends have panicked. We are intercepting their messages. SOS. We have been attacked by the
It
Japanese.
doesn't appear to be a way
Japanese aircraft have reached Oahu.
to follow
And
the
this is
aircraft or
real.
the
This
ships
is a Japanese attack.
once they're in movement.
Looks like
Now,
those Japanese
I'm attacking
have ruined
that,
the Americans'
that
day
ship
off.
from that same hex, so I get a better result from my attack. But to make sure that my comrades can also attack this this ship, I need to move out to another hex. What's that? That's anti-aircraft. That's slightly annoying. I don't want to suffer from that, but I'm going to go over there, I think.
Here we come.
Okay, now can I then send out...
Those bombs are heavy.
If I send out this dive bomber to attack the air defences, will that work? I think I've activated that. There's something you need sometimes to activate the weapon you're using. Otherwise you're just flying somewhere. But, okay, I'm doing damage there.
Things are going to explode.
Let's get in here.
By shelling the enemy airfield, you also damage aircraft units located there. Enemy aircraft are much easier to eliminate on the ground than in the air.
It looks like I've actually blown up that air defences. That is excellent. Right, so
Be careful with the bombs.
let's get this torpedo in there. So let's torpedo that ship again.
Just a few moments, and we'll be there.
Now, I've flown in, but I didn't click on the attack symbol. So let's do that again here. 6
Bow
lethal
to the
damage.
gifts of the
There
Empire.
it goes. Ah, excellent. And it's gone! I have sunk a battleship! Yes! And we can see that over here in my primary objectives. Destroy enemy battleships, 1 out of 4. Oh, I'm feeling good. Now, where can I go? Oh, this is slightly frustrating. I don't really want to be over one of the other ships we can attack. No, actually, leave him there. Of course, leave him there. Where's my aircraft carrier? We've got one
Do not
bomber left.
underestimate us.
A tactical bomber is here.
There he is. That is our torpedo. Ready, primed. That's another battleship, isn't it? I think. Yep, another Colorado class battleship. Let's torpedo that chappy.
Things are going to explode.
Beautiful. If we look at this, we can see the damage. The hull damage, 4 out of 10. So it was previously strength 10, it's now 4. When that gets to 0, that unit will disappear. It will sink beneath the waves. Excellent. So let's get this aircraft out here.
There better be targets.
And do we have... We have another aircraft
We
carrier there.
surpass pathetic Gaijins in everything.
Lovely. I think if we bring you in here as well...
Caution, the enemy may be nearby.
I'm not worried about the enemy. I'm not worried about them at all. We're here taking out battleships. Right, so what, my
Those
friend,
bombs
do you
are quite
have?
dangerous, you know?
Yes, I know they are.
What should be destroyed next?
So, what are you?
Are we fully loaded?
Are your dive
What should be
bombers?
destroyed next?
We'll be using a torpedo again. They seem to be very effective against these battleships. So let's... actually, if we take out... What's that? The Northampton class. You're a heavy cruiser. Yeah, you're a dangerous creature as well. So, actually, if we take you out first,
Bombs.
what I'm thinking,
away.
we'll leave then another hex free to put our planes into after they've attacked this other battleship. Excellent. We're doing quite a good job
Will
here, I
there be
think.
fighters covering us?
Yeah, of course there will. Don't worry about that, my friend. You will have fighter
Those
cover
bombs are
eventually.
quite dangerous, you know?
And this should sink
soul.
that cruiser. Oh, apparently we've destroyed 2 battleships already. Maybe that's what that one is. I've damaged it so much. Oh, beautiful.
Approaching.
I'm doing quite well here, aren't I? Right, what do we have here?
What should be destroyed next?
I don't know. What should we carry? We need equipment. What about incendiary? Let's see what that does to a ship. A ship which is already on its way down. It's already suffered severe hull damage. In fact,
Is
that'll do
someone observing that area?
Yes, don't worry. We're observing this zone of conflict. In he comes. Ah, right. Oh, okay, right. So, a dive bomber, you can decide which part of the ship you want to attack. So it could be the main guns, it could be the anti-aircraft, or it could be the secondary guns, or an ordinary attack. Which does general damage, I think. The tutorial did tell me, and I've gone and forgotten.
You
Let's
can't
do that.
hide from the blast waves.
Okay, you see there, you get a whole list of the damage it's done. If we just move you out of the way for
Here
a
we
second.
come.
Just right-click on this ship. The hull is down to 2 damage. we're doing some damage by the look of it to other bits of equipment, but not a great deal as such. Okay, we have got another dive
Those
bomber
bombs
here,
are quite dangerous, you know?
and let's finally set you up. What should we send you in with? Yeah, let's do armor piercing. It's more expensive, but it should put the final nail into that ship's coffin. There you go. We're going to do an ordinary attack.
The enemy's gonna have a tough time.
Yes, it is. The enemy is going to see what the ocean looks like from underneath the surface of the waves. Gotcha. But it wasn't quite enough. Darn.
Just a few
Sinking.
moments, and we'll be there.
Yes, I know. He's got one hull point left and he's not sinking. Ah, the frustration. I should have been using torpedoes, but I'm not. Well, there you are. Okay. What is
The
my
weight
next?
of our bombs makes me feel more confident.
Right, so this ship has
Those
lots.
bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
Lots. Oh, this ship has spotter planes too. Oh, that's cool.
Be careful with the bombs.
We have torpedo bombers.
Fighter planes are vital for gaining air superiority. Keep your fighters close to Allied aircraft.
we
you
do
want to
have a couple of
protect, and they will
zero-
provide fire support.
Excellent,
Fighters
we
are able
do
to attack
have
ground targets, although with low efficiency.
a couple of
they can use
zeros.
the Overwatch breakthrough skill to counter enemy anti-aircraft fire and clear the way for tactical bombers.
Now, this is what we're looking at here. These are the skills which I think you can get not through there, through the whole leveling up thing. Yeah, you can get these extra skills, and what you do is you select which. If I remember correctly, what you do is you select which of these skills you want to use. Now, the Overwatch, our chappie was hinting at me. Activation cost is 4 fuel. Now, if it's activated before moving to the area of anti-aircraft Overwatch, which means if you're moving into an area where they've got anti-aircraft guns waiting to fire at you, this allows the unit to move and attack after being overwatched. Okay, which I think means if I'm attacked by anti-aircraft weapons, then I can attack again and move on. Something like that. Well, we're going to use it anyway. Now, where is my zero? Where can he fly to? He can't really help here. So we're going to need to get our ship. Now, how can I get back to the ship he's on? Not entirely
Are there
sure.
new orders from our godly emperor?
It wasn't you.
We will
was
not
it
let
you?
the emperor
No.
down.
Which of these aircraft
We
carriers
have more
was it?
guns than the entire enemy fleet,
Yes, I know
if
we
you
do.
include aircraft.
Yeah, there's just some novel voice work going on here. So
Do not underestimate us.
let's move in here. Oh, you've got fewer airplanes. Which ship was? It was this ship I was looking
We
at.
surpass pathetic
It
Gaijin
wasn't.
in everything.
Which ship was I looking at? Was it you? No.
The submarine is an invisible enemy unless it
you're
is
another
detected
submarine.
via sonar. It can make powerful attacks with torpedoes
I'm
and
just-
then instantly retreat.
Oh, I
before
was looking
detection.
here at the
Torpedoes
whole
deal
aircraft
damage
list. That's what the
exclusively to
problem
ship hull,
was.
thus being a
Right.
very effective tool to make quick work of damaging or destroying an enemy ship.
Okay.
If-
So we're going to take this carrier, which has got
If the
bombers on.
battleships are the muscle
Okay.
of the Imperial
You've
Navy,
got fighters, so
we
we need to bring you
are its
in to
brain.
protect.
caution, the enemy may be nearby.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the enemy. No, absolutely not. Ooh, look at that cinematic. Oh, bother. We've been attacked. Help. Now, can I attack? I can. That gun. I'm not going to do much damage by the look of it. Now, we got rid of one of these. No, that was anti-aircraft,
Are
wasn't
you
it?
sure we should be on the front line?
Okay. Now, for some reason, although we were attacked by this weapon, we didn't know what it was. So we're getting we're attacking something we haven't fully identified, which means our attack is reduced, which is what some of those messages were talking about. Let's attack again. The main guns have 2 attacks.
The enemy has suffered some losses. Go on. We'll have to finish
But
it.
then again, so has my ship. If we look at the panel here, yeah, we've lost 3 hull points. That's right, and they, if I remember correctly, cannot be repaired while you're at sea. So that, if we suffer much more, we could be at a serious disadvantage. However, I want to get my zeros up. Put you into Overwatch mode. There's no equipment, is there? Oh, there is. What can we put in here? Bombs. So we could turn you into a tactical bomber. No, I don't want that. No. No, we're going to leave you as a simple fighter. And I can put you... I could put you there. That's not quite close enough. Not in exactly the right place. Okay, we're going to fly you in.
This is an enemy unit. Right
Yes,
click on it for more information.
That's me and my mouse clicking on the wrong thing. Where was that 0? There we are. Can we get you to there? There we go. I'll just do a double click to get you moved into place. There's nothing you can attack. And hopefully I've got Overwatch on, which means he should be vaguely protected. You know, he said hopefully.
We carry the deadly arrows of the Emperor.
Okay, we'll take this bomber. And we will equip you with... I'm thinking armor plating. Those gun emplacements, will they be good? Will they suffer damage through armor piercing? Let's hope so. Just remember... okay.
Bombs away.
Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got rid of it! Excellent! Right. Wow. That means my aircraft carrier is slightly safer. Now, shall I use this other bomber
What
then?
should be destroyed next?
You're a torpedo bomber. Okay. In which case we're going to send you to attack. Is this it's another battleship? Yep, we're going to attack you, my friend. Actually, you're not my friend at all. You're my sworn enemy.
Explosions look like the rising sun. Good morning.
So, plane's going in. Here he comes. Dealing destruction. Nice. Right, where can I move him to? I'll move him over there,
Just
I
a
think.
few moments, and we'll be there.
This 0. We'll have you, I think, protecting this bomber here. Because you can't really do much, I think, protecting... You could go there. Actually, let's see. Have I got any more aircraft I can use?
What should be destroyed next?
So where... I don't know where you are. Where are you? Oh, are you... you're the bomber there. We can move... We don't want to move you. Right, okay, I see the symbols here. The ammunition symbol is grey, so it means it's used its bomb. But the fuel is full, or green, so I can move it, which is I can move it out of the way, which is what I was looking to do there. Right, you...
Are we fully loaded?
Where are you? Oh, and there's a symbol of a ship there, so that means he must be on ship. It makes sense. I want to get to you. I'm looking for a quick way to focus on that vehicle. I'll have to follow the hexes. Okay, we're going to have to move our aircraft carrier in.
If the battleships are the muscle of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain.
We'll move you...
Behind us
to
is
there.
the rising sun. Ahead is eternal glory.
There you go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, hopefully that is enough to get my bomber in
Imperial Air
in
Service.
place. You're a dive bomber.
Those bombs are
torpedo
heavy.
bomber. That's what we want. And you can't reach those ships. In fact, you can't reach much at all. So I'm going to leave you out of action for the moment.
Be careful with the bombs.
We've got this dive bomber here, and we can equip you with that armor-piercing shell. There you go. Which we used previously to get rid of that other gun emplacement. So let's get rid of you.
Their days are numbered.
Their days are indeed numbered. And you have destroyed it. Excellent work, my
Here
friend.
we come. Those bombs are quite dangerous,
There's
you know?
a torpedo bomber. Now, there's not much in range that we can attack. We have only got torpedoes to use. So I'm going to leave those guys on ship. And what I'm going to do as well is leave this game here. So we still have a...
We carry the deadly arrows of the Emperor.
Yes, thank you. We do still have a few more assets to move, a few more weapons to deploy. In fact, we've got all our ships over here and that other submarine, if I remember correctly. So we will be using those. We have a spotter plane there as well. That could be quite handy. Right, so that's where it is. So thank you for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed this first look at Strategic Mind, the Pacific. It's looking darned impressive. I'm struggling because it's this genre which is kind of unfamiliar with me. And unfamiliar to me. That's probably better English, isn't it? And obviously English is my first language. But there's a lot to consider here. So many choices to make. And well, I have been successful so far, but is that enough? Have I left all my assets here vulnerable to attack by these American chappies in their big boats? And they have got aircraft too. They have aircraft bases scattered around here. So perhaps I should be bombing those bases to make sure their planes can't take off. Do you have... If I click on this, it tells me this. Oh, it tells me those are the air... Okay, it tells me something about that airfield and seaport. But possibly because I've not spotted it, I don't know if there are actually any aircraft here. Actually, if I scroll this down, does it tell me? Ooh, radar. Oh, that's over there. Right. Okay, so the radar has now seen my aircraft carriers. Bother. You see, there's just so much that I am not checking out. I'm going into this game almost as blind as the Americans were before I started attacking them. But anyway, yes, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this first look. If you've enjoyed this, do leave us a like, but even more importantly, drop a note into the comments box below. Tell me if you'd like to see much more of this, or if you can, offer me suggestions and guidance on how not to have all my weapons, all my planes and ships destroyed by the Americans in their first move. Or anything else you want to say about the game or what we're doing here. It'd be great to hear from you, and of course, if you've not done so already, please do subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll know when I upload the next one of these or any of my other Let's Play series. And of course, if you're interested in the game itself, check the description below. There'll be a link to the Steam page where you can check it out and buy the thing for yourself. If this is your bag, it looks like it might be rather good. So I'll leave that with you. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Strategic Mind, the Pacific. I'll see you again soon, but until then, bye-bye for now.